Hey, it's Mark Ferguson, and this is my Lotus Esprit V8 twin turbo. I'm gonna do a quick review of it. I'm not a professional car guy or reviewer, just enjoy cars, and lucky enough that real estate has been pretty good to me. So we're gonna take a look at this car. This is my real estate channel, so most of my other videos are all about real estate. If you're interested in real estate, investformore.com is my blog. Had to put that quick plug in there. But yeah, this car is amazing, awesome. I love it. I've had it 4 months. Was way more than I thought it would be as far as enjoyment, fun, and how it looks in person. I also have a Lamborghini Diablo, as you can see, and we'll kind of compare this car a little bit to that as well. Completely different cars, but both a ton of fun, and just I love them. So this car is a 1998. Has the OZ wheels, which from what I hear were a $10,000 option on the car. Pretty rare. It has the glass roof that does come off, I'll show you that. And then it also has the blue body roof. But when I bought this car, I bought it from Texas, I'm in Colorado, it did not have that roof with it. But the dealer called me back a couple months after I bought it, said, hey, the old owner found the roof. We can ship it back to you. So I don't have it yet. Have to work out him shipping it to me, but should have 2 roofs for it soon. This is Azure blue, which is almost a purple, but not quite. I would not call it purple, although it's pretty close. Definitely more blue. The snow corn leather with blue piping. You can see the V8 logo, the wheels. This car has an aftermarket exhaust that was kind of pieced together. We had to fix that a little bit. And it also had the chip reflashed on it. So it is faster than stock. I've got a buddy who's got a V8 twin turbo Esprit that it's stock. He drove this one, drove his, said this one is definitely faster. So it'd be kind of cool to compare a bone stock one to the Diablo, but we'll just have to make do with a modified Esprit, which is fairly easy to do. It had the twin turbo V8. It's 350 horsepower from the factory, but they detuned it so that the Renault transmission would not break. So that is actually a 500 horsepower engine before they detune it. Have no idea how much horsepower this one has. Have not dynoed it. Don't have any idea what kind of flash it was, what kind of program it was. We just know it has been done. It also won't pass emissions because of that, and it's a lot faster. So we'll go through the car, take it on a test drive. I'll bring out the Diablo. We can compare the two together, and hopefully can be a little bit educational for the Esprit. I love it. It's a fantastic car. My sister loves it, who thought she would hate it when I bought it and couldn't believe why I bought it. She has an R8 V10 Plus, and we went to a car show recently, and she drove this car instead of her R8 because she likes it so much. So we'll get going and check out the car. All right, here's the car all opened up. In the front, there's really no room for anything. I do have a spare tire for it. It's actually gone right now. I didn't realize that until just now. I think the mechanic I had working on it must have taken that out to get easy access to some of the things and not put it back in, so I'll talk with him. But the spare tire usually goes there, so there's no room at all. You know, coolant, well, windshield wiper stuff, brake stuff, nothing much, fuses, but the storage is back here. You cannot fit golf clubs in here. I've tried. You can put golf clubs in the front passenger seat. That's what I have to do if I want to golf and take this car. But they will not fit in here. That's the V8 engine right there. 3.5 liter aluminum, 32 valve. Lotus engine that they developed. You can see a little bit more if we take that off. You can see the water pouring in. K&N air filter, and then we'll set that back in. But I mean, there's some decent storage here, but not a ton, and that's what you get with cars like this. You just kind of have to expect you're not going to carry much stuff with it. Oh, one pointer. The battery's back here, and the OBD2 connector is also back here. Do you have to connect that to anything? For missions, I had to do it. It's in the trunk. It is not under the dash like with most cars. The interior. This seat is a little worn. Car has 30,000 miles, but it's also almost 20 years old now. It's a 98. Those papers right there, that is my glove compartment. I don't have a real glove compartment. And the dash, steering wheel is not stock. That is a smaller steering wheel. The Esprit steering wheel is much bigger. Radio, I don't think is stock. Has 2 airbags, 5-speed manual transmission, power windows, power locks, all that. Decent stereo. And yeah, it's not a horrible interior, not amazing either, but actually fit pretty well, which is nice. Alright, so I'm sitting in the Esprit now. Kind of hard to do a videotape like this, but or videotape, that's a little old. There's actually a decent amount of room in here. The transmission was a little tough getting used to. You know, the Lamborghini has a gated transmission, which is so nice. This one's a little slushy, not super easy to find the gears, not super crisp, but the car is still an absolute blast to drive. You can see the seats. It does have kind of the sports type seats. The visors are kind of funny. They go down, but they're fixed, so they can't go to the side or anything. Just in front of you, that's all you get. And the roof, as you can see, the glass roof, totally see-through, pretty cool. You can pop it open. Like that, and leave it up partially, or you can take the whole thing off. So that's pretty cool. Visibility, not horrible. A lot of people complain that the wing's right in your way. And right there, it looks like it's in your way, but when I look through the mirror, it's really not. My view is probably about, I'm not using my phone, like that. So I can see pretty well. The sides, there's little windows right there you can see through. So as long as you're careful, you can see pretty well in this car. And I'm about 6'1". I have big feet. I have size 13 or 14 shoes, depending on what shoe it is. And I always am concerned about fitting in cars like this. My feet are super tight in the Diablo. I can't wear regular shoes. I have to wear kind of real loose fitting shoes, or my feet will get stuck in between the pedals. This car is much better. My head, I've got an inch between my head and the roof sitting normally. So it's got plenty of room, comfortable, and yeah, I like it. So here is the Diablo next to the Esprit. 99 Diablo, 98 Esprit, so built in the same era. You know, both super rare supercars basically. Made less than 200 Esprits in 98. They made probably 220 Diablos. I kind of have them lined up right in the front so you can see the size difference. The Diablo has such a short nose, it's crazy, but then it actually has a longer body if you go back here, just a little bit longer. Just from eyeing it, the way the Diablo is shaped, it looks so much longer, but it's really only 6 inches, maybe a foot. Height-wise, the Esprit is taller for sure, a couple inches taller. The Diablo is one of the shortest cars ever built. It's also one of the widest cars ever built. I think the Jaguar XJ 220 was the only one as wide. The Esprit is definitely not as wide. Lighter car, but V8 versus V12, 3.5 liters versus 5.7. Big difference in the engines. Diablo has much wider tires. It's got the 335s, where the Esprit has the 285s, I believe, on it. Both have the wings. You can see the color difference here. The Diablo is Monterey blue, which is the reason I bought this car. It's not super clean. Sorry about that, but I want to do a video instead of clean my cars. Gorgeous color. I got this car for $126,000 3.5 years ago or so, and it was a deal I could not pass up. In this color, I knew it would be almost impossible to find one again. It's an Alpine Edition in '99, so they only made 12 of these. Alpine Edition doesn't make it that much more valuable, but makes it a little cooler. So this is a much brighter, vibrant blue, where that's a darker, like I said, almost purple. But sound-wise, the Diablo is much kind of deeper, loud, but it's more of a growl, where the Esprit is just a little higher pitched. It doesn't sound like a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder, but just different sound tones. So I'll start up the Diablo here too to compare them. Alright, so we'll start up the Esprit, see what it sounds like. Definitely an aftermarket exhaust, different mufflers, different tips that were welded on, not done amazingly well. But it sounds pretty good, definitely a different tone than the Diablo. But it's loud. Pretty loud. The neighbors will complain once in a while, but definitely a V8, but a kind of a smaller V8 sound to it. Okay, we'll start the Diablo here and see what it sounds like. Definitely a different tone. Take the car for a little drive. It pulls really hard. Just those turbos are so much fun. The first time I drove it, I did not expect it to feel as fast as it is. And gear just has no problem revving up. You can hear the turbo spooling up behind you. It's such a cool feeling. You can hear the engine, but it's not crazy loud. There's a crazy storm coming, so we won't spend too much time driving, but it's just so much fun. I really need to drive a V8 twin turbo that hasn't been modified to see the difference, but yeah, this car's a blast. Took me a little while to get used to the transmission. It's kind of hard figuring out the gears, but once I drove it a few times, I got it. Not a big deal. And you know, I said they decreased the horsepower so you don't break the transmission, but that doesn't mean you're going to break the transmission when you increase the horsepower. They just wanted to make sure people weren't racing it, you know, just abusing the car, and they'd have a bunch of warranty claims. You can up the power, still be pretty safe with the transmission if you're careful. So, it feels faster than the Diablo for sure. I have not raced them next to each other. My sister and I did a little bit, kind of with me in front, her behind. She had no problem keeping up with the Diablo, but really the Diablo is meant for speeds over 100. It goes up to 60 in first gear, where this car goes to, you know, almost 40. So this is a completely different car. I think it would definitely out-accelerate the Diablo up to 100. At that point, the Diablo may, with its big V12, take over. But someday we'll try that out and see what happens. But it's a fun car. It's been pretty easy to maintain, no major problems or anything. And that's what I've heard. You know, some people have horror stories, but with a car like this, you have to maintain it. You have to spend the money on the engine services, on, you know, routine maintenance, or they'll fall apart. And the same with the Lamborghini. And this one's been maintained well. It's got 30,000 miles. Almost a 20-year-old car, but it's handles awesome, drives amazing, comfortable. The AC works great in this freezing cold. Just a wonderful car, and it's a blast to drive. And like I said, my sister with the R8 V10 Plus decided she wanted to drive this car instead of her R8 to the car show. She had her husband drive the R8 because it was so much fun to drive, and she thought I was crazy for buying this car. I spent $38,000 on this car, which, if you ask me, is one of the biggest bargains out there in the market. And she thought it was ugly from pictures and not that cool, and then she saw it in person and she drove it, and she's like, okay, I was wrong. This is a really awesome looking car. And in person it's so much wider and lower than pictures. It doesn't bring as many looks as the Diablo for sure, but still everybody looks at it, almost everybody. They ask what it is, no one knows what it is. Most people know the Diablo's Lamborghini, no one has a clue what this is. So it's a pretty fun car. I really enjoy it. One of my best purchases I've ever made. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I have, and I did not expect it to be such a neat and fun car. And the way it drives is just, it makes you want to drive it every day. All right, we're back in the garage, and I promised I would take the roof off, so that's what it looks like. Pretty big opening, pretty nice, but the downside is it's supposed to fit in your trunk, kind of squeezed in there. It doesn't fit very well. It's really tight, it can get stuck, and there's a really good chance it can break too if you go over a big bump. So pretty much everyone just takes it off, puts it in their garage if they want it off, and hopes it doesn't rain. So, not amazingly functional because of that, but it's still pretty cool. And then I took out all my paperwork and junk so you can see the pseudo glove compartment, what we have there. And yeah, so awesome car. I love it, tons of fun. I would recommend buying one for sure. The biggest thing to watch out for is make sure it's been taken care of, make sure it's been maintained, and see if you've got someone who can work on it in your area, because there's not a lot of people who know how to work on them. I'm lucky in that I have a guy here who's got 11 Esprits himself and works on these cars, so that's a huge bonus. But wonderful driving experience, lots of fun, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below and I'll try and answer if I can. I know I didn't show us driving the Diablo, but I did a full video write-up on it that you can find on my YouTube channel. Most of my stuff is real estate related, but I have a few car videos, and I'll also leave a link to that video in the description of this one so you can find it easily. I took it for a drive, went through that car as well, and I have one on the 928 too, which is right over there. 86 928 manual. That's a bargain. I bought that for $6,000 about 7 years ago. Great car. All right, thanks for watching. And one final plug, if you have any real estate questions, flipping, rental properties, being an agent, check out investformore.com. All right, so we'll start up the Diablo and see what it sounds like here.